birthday sale. I decided that since I turned 70, I needed to just blow it out. I've been celebrating all month with various people and lots of birthday parties and a lot of cake and probably even more wine. But, you know, it's always a reason to celebrate. You know, you should be celebrating every day. So I'm just going to jump into the show here. I want everybody to say hello to Juan. Juan
Hello,
is
hello.
my background and connecting all my dots so that everybody can see me from wherever they're at. So you'll be hearing his voice occasionally in the background or posting comments, things like that. So I'm just going to jump into this and start with the first painting. This is called Green Pour. And this is a pour painting. I don't know if you're familiar with the technique, but you literally have not much control. You can obviously put it any which way you want. And you pour different colors of paint into a cup, and then you pour them out on the canvas, and then you tilt it. And it does all these amazing things. Now, I did have gold in this side, yeah. So there's some gold, green, blue, and black, and it made this amazing design. So this is the first piece. Now, if you want to make any purchases, there's a link in the description on Facebook, and there's a sales link in the bio on Instagram, so you can just click on one of those. This is number 1, and it's Green Pour. Now, number 2, I think you probably recognize this one. This is from the iconic photograph taken during World War II at Iwo Jima. This is the raising of the flag. Now, this was actually the second raising of the flag, but the photograph was so memorable that this is the one that everyone remembers. And I just feel very strongly about our military and our flag, and so I wanted to paint this. And this is number 2 on the hit parade. So it's a 16 by 20.
Hey, Lynn. It'll be, I guess, important to let your audience know what are, an average of sales price, maybe an average discount, how much discount you're offering on these pieces, because I know you're discounting a lot your pieces. So it'll be great for them to be aware of the prices.
I didn't write the prices down.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's just good to let them know that maybe 20 to 30% off on each piece, which is a great discount, especially for original artworks, right? So that's good to remind people. Yep.
Yeah, and these are also going to have free shipping. So if you want to purchase, I will be taking them off to UPS and having them boxed and shipped off to you. And it's just a way of you to have a piece of Americana for this. So there's a lot of detail in it. The next piece.
It's my favorite one for sure.
This is Meatball. Now, Meatball is a real bear. When I lived in La Crescenta, which is a small town to the east of me, in 2012, Meatball got to be famous because he kept going back to the same house in the garage and eating meatballs out of the freezer. So they took him up to the forest twice, and the third time he was supposed to be euthanized, but we had made him famous. Everybody was looking out for him. Everybody was posting about him. And so he went to a bear sanctuary called Lions, Tigers, and Bears. I mean, how cool is that, right? And that's down in San Diego in Alpine, I believe. And he was so famous that they used him to start building a bear enclave. There's 6 bears in the bear house now. And it was built mainly due to the donations from Meatball. So he's a favorite friend of mine. He actually was nesting in one of my girlfriend's trees, in 2012, and they were trying to catch him. The helicopters would be up and the police would be racing around, and you'd be told to keep your kids and pets inside because the bear was out. Yes, but he carried on for a few months, going through trash and going into freezers and they have a birthday party for him every August. And I hope they give him meatballs.
That's how powerful it is to actually have a story behind the paintings. Because, for me, it was just a cute bear with a very nice black background. But now I feel attached to that little bear. Thanks for sharing that. That's for sure something amazing.
Yeah, he's a fun little guy.
I'll be super happy to feed him with meatballs.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody have him.
Yeah, just so you know, we have Kara showing some love on Instagram, saying "cute, lovely meatball," and then we have Halal. I hope I'm pronouncing that well, saying hello. Just so you know.
Okay, good. Hi there. Hi, everybody. This painting is called Remorse. And there was a period of probably 2.5 years where I had some real difficult financial, emotional issues that just really tore me apart. And so part of my therapy was to paint it out. And so remorse speaks to me of the traps we make for ourselves and how unnerving they can be, and how self-limiting they are. So this is done with copper and silver paint along with the black and the brown. And it to me, it's speaking like if you're coming from the back, you're coming from the worst of it, and then you're coming into the things that are starting to lighten a little bit. And it's about a journey of coming from remorse. And our next painting is also kind of part of this. It's part of the same.
Just so everyone know, Remorse, it's number 4 in the landing page. If you're interested in that one, it's number 4.
Okay, number 4. I need some place to put them all. And then this one is the final of that. This is called Rage. And for me, it was about discovering not only how broken I could be, but how that affected everyone around me. And that when you start to think about how you allow yourself to be trampled and broken, how much of yourself, that you may lose in the process. And I think it's an important work for myself, at least, to know that rage can affect the whole world around you. And certainly you can lose parts of yourself that you might never get back. So it's an emotion that you need to deal with. And whether you get help or talk to your friends or paint, I paint. So it's a way of working out your emotions. So for me, painting is really important. But this is what painting is about, is going through that terribly difficult time in my life that is now over with, so.
All right, you're making me emotional now. I think those two will make a great pair, side by side. That's a great story for sure.
Yeah. Now, most of my work is 16 by 20 because I worked for Paint Night for quite a while. I taught more than 200 classes, and I have canvases. I still have a box of 80 canvases I haven't even opened yet. So there's going to be 16 by 20 paintings for a long time. Unless somebody asks specifically for something, larger. But that's why so many of my paintings are 16 by 20s, because I have so many of them. And the Paint Night paintings, which I'm going over and repainting. So I probably have close to 200 canvases that are all 16 by 20. So that's that. Now this is one of my daughter's favorites. It's called Simplicity. And obviously that's what it is. Now, whether you want to think of this as being just the horizon, and that's Earth and the upper sky, or whether you want to think of it as being ocean, this can be anything you want it to be. You could also turn it sideways. This is one of those pieces that is very versatile. You could even turn it upside down. So it's however you want to place the painting. This is one of those that can be placed any which way. I like it this way because to me it's the ocean, and it's maybe a little bit of smog or dirty fog out there somewhere. I think about the ocean all the time because I'm a sailor, and I've been sailing since I was a little girl. So, okay. This picture is called Wind Chant, and I'm going to show you some of the detail on it. There's kind of the path that goes off into wherever you want it to go, and the hills and the valleys, and then the sky with the sunset. And this I actually painted because in 2001, I wrote a poem. So I'm going to put the canvas here where you can kind of look at it, and I'm going to read you the poem. And it's called The Wind Chant. So hopefully I won't screw it up. It's called, listen to the wind, to the wind, to the wind. Oh, listen, listen to the wind. Listen to the wind, hear its music swirl in circles, feel it rippling across the crimson clouds. See it rattle in the trees, scatter leaves, flowers nodding in the breeze, crossing colors in the canyons of the sky. Oh, listen to the wind, feel the zephyr's gentle touch in a symphony of sounds inside the soul. Hear the lyrics of its sighs, ebb and flow of the tides. Oh, hear the wind, listen to the wind. Listen to the wind, to the wind, to the wind. Oh, listen, listen to the wind. Listen to the wind, hear the canyon sunset cries and Santana's echo bass clef cadence rhyme. Fretful, frantic, tangled turbulence of the wind or of the mind, impaled in the dark, demented skies. Listen, hear the wind. Feel its breath upon your soul, misting away the tears of pain and screams of rage. Sweep away the fears and failures. Find the peace in simple pleasures. Whirlwind galaxies and brilliant silver stars. Know the healing power is within. Hear the wind. Oh, hear the wind. Oh, listen. Listen to the wind. So I wrote that in 2001. Whoever buys this painting will get a copy of the poem. It's one of my favorites.
Wow, that's so powerful. I honestly listened to all of that with my eyes closed, and I could feel inside the painting, you know?
Yes.
And I could feel myself also, you know, battling with my thoughts, and that's so powerful. Thanks for sharing that, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Wow. Wow.
I hope
wow.
you all have a glass of wine or something to imbibe.
I do have. Cheers.
Yeah.
We have someone on Facebook. Her name is Shelly.
Oh, okay.
She's saying, hi, Lynn. I just logged in. Were you inspired by that specific place when you painted this? That's her question.
No, this is strictly in my mind.
Okay.
I do a lot of paintings from my imagination, and I will pick and choose sometimes from different photographs that I see. And it just, I dream things. So then I'll wake up and paint them. It's kind of strange. When I have a painting later on that, well, I'll explain why I painted the Statue of Liberty. It was a dream. So it's just, I get them all different. My inspiration comes from all over. Photographs, people start talking about something and I'll start thinking about it, and then I'll dream about it. So it comes from all over for me. But this is basically because I love the wind. Being a sailor, you know, we always like to have the wind. And this basically, I didn't use a knife on this. I've only started using a knife again lately. This is mainly just brushwork. And when I'm doing, I have a big brush that's really splayed. And so when I'm doing clouds and some of the greenery and so forth, I'm dabbing. I do a lot of dabbing. So I'll pick up colors and I'll just kind of, you know, dab them. I'll stick my fingers in the paint and, you know, touch it, move the white around in the cloud just to get a cloud look. So it's just, you know, I'm a mess when I get done. I have paint all over me. But I have fun doing it. I guess I never grew up, you know.
Awesome. So. Thanks for sharing. All right, we're moving on to number 7.
Okay, this is another pour painting, and I named it Wave Action. Now, the type of paint has a lot of finish in it, so there's a glistening to it that you could see. It looks like it's been varnished, but that's actually in the paint itself. And when I poured this paint, it came out that it reminded me of ocean waves. And then I was actually able to take a knife and draw it through the paint and create the little motion of the waves. So this is called Wave Action. And it's an 8x8 square. And I have a lot of fun with pour paintings. I think they're just ridiculously fun because you can't control it. I mean, you can control it a little bit depending on how you tilt your canvas. And obviously you can control the colors by what you put in the cup. But once it's on the canvas and you're tilting it, there's really no guarantee of what it's going to do or whether you're going to like it when you're done. But I really like this one. I just like the symmetry in the waves, and it just reminds me of the sea. So that's my other pour painting. Trying to keep track here. This next painting is called Embrace the Light. And it's an 8x10. And it's basically the story of us. We all start in darkness. And as we grow and mature, we start to blossom. And eventually we turn to the light and become a full-fledged flower, human, whatever it is we want to be. But this is the journey that we all take, traveling from the dark, over here, wrong side, from the dark into the light, and the growth period that we all go through. So if you choose to be a flower, you can just look at this as being a floral painting, that's fine. To me, it's a journey, and to me, it represents the stages of human existence. And I painted it as a red and white rose because I have the most gorgeous red-tipped roses outside my window that my husband planted for me because he knows I love roses. So that's why the colors I chose for this particular flower. But obviously when they're buds, over here, they start out white, and it's only when they get to be a little bit older and bigger, they start to gain their true colors, kind of like what we are as people. So this is why I call this a journey, and it's called Embrace the Light.
Awesome. We have another question from Shelley. This is in regards to waves. It doesn't look like a knife got drawn through it. No angles. How did you make the wave look so rolling? This is an interesting question.
Yeah. Well, pouring paint is thick. And so it's almost like drawing it through mud, where you end up with a design in the mud. But let's see if I can get it close enough where you can see more of it. But when you're pulling the knife right through the wet paint, you're able to affect the design. So what I'll probably do one of these days is make a video and show you some of the techniques on paint pouring. I'm still learning. It's a new process for me, but it's just, like I said, it's something really fun and really cool. I think it's really, really cool.
Up next, we've got The Wolf, number 9.
Yep, this is number 9. And this is a wolf at midnight. And I think if you can, there's pretty good detail in his eye. I think it looks pretty real. And again, when I do fur, I'm using a brush similar to this. This is not my worst one. I have one that's much more split, and the kind of brush you would throw away because you really can't use it for anything else. But for art, they're so valuable. And once they get, really split, they're perfect for making little tiny fine lines for fur, or making foliage, faraway flowers, in a background, or they're really good for making clouds. So I use that, and that's how I'm able to get like the little tiny fine lines for the fur that make it look more real. So this is my wolf, and I like wolves.
Awesome.
Tilting the pictures.
I think it's a good time to remind people who's just joining the show how to purchase any of the pieces if they're interested. I think it's a good time to do so.
Yeah, now there's a link in the description for Facebook that will take you to the sales page if you're interested in purchasing any of these. And there's a sales link in the bio on Instagram. So if you want to click on that, it'll take you and you can find out the particulars of each of these pictures. Because I know the sizes, but I don't remember the prices.
I would say as an overall, we've had prices ranging from the $75 all the way up to, I believe, $250 or $300. So it's pretty good prices for original pieces. Yep.
This one is called Cityscape. And to me, it's a very modern look at quite possibly Chicago from a view of the frozen lake. I'm not sure the lake ever freezes completely, but I think at night you would get a layer of ice in the winter. But I wanted to do the really bright colors because to me, there's so much life in a city. And I wanted to reflect that into the water or the ice or whatever this is. I think it's ice. To me, it's ice. And I think that the bright colors and the varied colors, just make you feel like there's a lot of energy in the city and a lot going on. And so this is not any particular city itself. There's no buildings that you could recognize. I've done others. I've got a little painting that is very definitely Los Angeles, but this is just strictly out of my brain, imagination. And like I said, I just wanted the colors to be vibrant and indicate, that incredible energy that big cities have. So this is Cityscape, and it's another 16 by 20. Now the question was, my favorite color is blue. I like colors in ocean colors, watercolors, blue greens. So I usually have those somewhere in a painting. In fact, a lot of times I'll do trees and I have a line of blue going down the tree. It's just kind of a bizarre thing to do, but I just love having blue around me. And my house is blue. I'm wearing blue. I just, I love blue. I love greens. I love anything that reminds me of water and the ocean. And I just think that saltwater cures everything. Now, it might be tears, might be sweat, might be the ocean. I think I really feel the ocean can cure anything. In fact, my dad, when he would get sick, he would go down to the beach and he would go swimming because he felt the salt water cured colds, flu, whatever he had, and he would go swimming in salt water. So I think I just come by that because I've known that he did that all my life. So if you don't know that about me, my dad was a toy maker. So I grew up in a very charmed childhood. There's a picture of me somewhere floating around on Facebook with me on the floor playing with all my dad's toys. I was about 2. So it is a great way to grow up. So our next picture is Renaissance Woman. There we go. So this is another journey picture. And the detail in it, you can see that the paint is cracked and broken this side. And it's about rising above our past and coming out of, the myriad of troubles and things that we have, and forging our way forward. And that's what we usually do as women. Women go through incredible trials and tribulations, and it's just so important that we keep moving forward. And so that's what this painting is all about, is surging forward in our journey of life. So this is Renaissance Woman. You know, when you get to be my age, you have a lot of trials and tribulations.
Barbara is saying she really loved that piece.
Oh,
Barbara
good.
Hunt. Yep.
Oh, good. Hi, Barbara. This is Fractured. It's kind of a Picasso-esque picture. And I seriously debated about naming it Gemini, because I think all of us have a shadow side. So if you wanted to name it Gemini, I wouldn't mind, because I think that it's kind of that way. But I also think it's fractured because we do have dual personalities inside each of us. And, you know, you've got the devil on one side, the angel on the other, and the devil's always going, yeah, let's go do that. You know, and the angel's going, no, you're going to get trouble. Well, so this piece speaks to me of the dual natures we have inside that are sometimes at war over what we want to do. But, you know, being that they're so close, you know, they're practically kissing. And so this is Fractured, or Gemini, whatever you want to call it. And I just like, I like playing around with Picasso and Van Gogh, and I've done a little bit of kind of Monet type pictures. So I like emulating the great artists and trying their techniques. And so that's what this is. But then I just had fun and just scribbled paint around to kind of indicate that there's a lot more going on than just, you know, the two sides fighting. Okay. Well, we're doing okay on time. This is another pour painting. And this is called Sunlight on Water. Oh, sorry, did I jump one?
It's okay. It's all good. You got it.
So this is basically the effect of a sunset on the waves, and the waves that rush into the shore, and you have those little tiny rivulets, and the constant ebbing of the water, where it keeps making the same pattern over and over again, and you get the runs in the sand. So this is about the waves. Again, you know, ocean. I love ocean, but I also love sunsets. So. Okay, our next one is for all you Mahjong ladies. I think you'll recognize these. Now these, I copied the Mahjong tiles for the American game. This is not the Chinese game, so they will not like seeing what I've done here. These are the winds, and they're Chinese symbols for north, south, east, and west. And these are all 8 by 10. There's 4 of them. I'm selling them as a set, and it would be really fun in a game room, you know, if you had them at or, you know, just, it would be a fun thing to put up. So this is the winds.
So I have a question for you. It's a set of 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Which is crazy. The price for the set of 4, it's $150.
Right.
It's a very good price.
Well, I think our market's kind of limited. How many people do you know that play Mahjong? I mean, I know a lot, but they all play with me. So, yeah, these are the flowers. Oh, wait, these are the flowers. So you have winds, and you have flowers. Oh, and I'm losing my ear pod.
I think if you lose one, it's okay. You don't need to put it back. The other one will still working, okay? If it happens next time, you can just forget about it.
All right, so then these are flowers. I just think they're really interesting and pretty. And when I was a little girl, my great uncle passed away. He was in the embassy in China. And in 1927, he passed away, and they sent all his effects back. And with that was a Mahjong set. And I used to play with it. I built blocks and towers. I had no idea what the pictures meant, but I fell in love with them when I was a little girl. I think I was 3 or 4 when I started playing with Mahjong. Now I actually play the game, and I enjoy it tremendously. So these are the 3 suits, and then I repeated the Joker because I needed a 4th tile. Because in the American Mahjong game, Jokers are very important. So you want as many Jokers as you can get. So that if you buy this set of paintings, you'll have 2 Jokers. So you'll be that much up on your opponents. So this is just the various, there's bamboo. This is a number 1 bamboo. This is a number 1 crack. And this is the number 1 dot. And then the last one we have dragons. And so here we have the other Joker. And we have green dragon, red dragon, and then the white one we call soap, because it looks like a bar of soap, but it's actually the white dragon. So it's basically kind of a rummy game, and you make up almost like rummy hands, and you have to match your tiles to a card that's put out once a year by the association that controls the American game. So it's very challenging and frustrating and just a whole lot of fun. We really enjoy it. So I had to paint the tiles because I thought they were so pretty. So I have next iridescent piece.
Yep, that's number 15.
Okay. So this was an interesting painting. I got a set of iridescent colors. And I don't know if you can see the shine.
Yeah, if you tilt it, we can for sure. Yeah, there you go.
So there's just a whole lot of shine. And there's no varnish on this piece. It's just the paint has a lot of shine to it, and it just really glistens. And this was when I felt, out of my imagination, just like traveling the hills and valleys and the different colors you find when you go out in nature. But I find it to be a very peaceful painting, and that's why I named it that. And this is an 11 by 14. So it's a little bit smaller. I do paint other sizes other than 16 by 20. It's just, I don't paint that many. So it's a treat to paint something smaller. My husband's always looking at me going, well, paint something big, big, like the wall. So he commissioned me to paint a mural on our wall outside, and it's 80 feet long. So it's big. I painted something big for him. This is another piece coming up here that was inspired by a song. Now, the song is I heard from the Eli Young Band, and it's called Saltwater Gospel. And so I'd like to read it to you, at least part of it. Let me put this here so you can see it.
I'm so ready. I love this show and, tell part of the show. I love it. I really love it.
I'm trying to see where you can see it. Okay.
You can move it a little bit closer to you for the Instagram frame. I think that will work great. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like that will do.
All right. So this is basically another seascape with a sunset. But to me, God makes all kinds of cathedrals. And the ocean and the beach are one of them. The mountains are another. You get into the forests with the tall trees, and that's definitely another one. It's just, you can find God wherever you find, wherever you go. And so to me, this just really speaks to me. And this is called Saltwater Gospel. Now, the songwriters are Ashley Gorley, Ross Cooperman, and Nicole Clausen. And like I said, the Eli Young Band plays this. I suggest you get it up on your music and listen to it, because it's kind of a come to Jesus moment for the band, and the way they sing it, it's just very uplifting and happy. It's a real happy song. So every Sunday I see people filing in through those front doors. Got a cross up on that steeple. Yeah, it's time to praise the Lord. Some watch it on their TV, sitting on the couch. Me, I get in my old Bronco and point those headlights south. Oh, ain't got too many miles to go to save my soul. Hey, I go down and sink my feet in the water, and I soak up that sun and I watch it set. Yeah, I can feel the power of the saltwater gospel. I'm as close to God as I can get. Now, there ain't nothing wrong with putting on your Sunday best. Me, I won't be wearing nothing that I can't get wet. I just think about how small I am and life after we're gone. I'm out here by myself, but I know I'm not alone. Yeah, I got all the proof I need, and it sure makes me believe. When I go down and sink my feet in the water, and I soak up that sun and I watch it set. Yeah, I can feel the power of the saltwater gospel. I'm as close to God as I can get. Amen. I'm in heaven watching all these waves roll in. Amen. When I'm lost, I know where to get found again. Yeah, I go down and sink my feet in the water, and I soak up that sun and I watch it set. Yeah, I can feel the power of the saltwater gospel. I'm as close to God as I can get. So there's a little more to the song, but you get the gist of it. And it just, it just makes me feel good. And so that's why I painted this picture. So it's about a sun setting. It's the sunlight on the water. And I've got the clouds and, just the different colors of blues and greens and the beautiful sunset. So that's why I painted this picture. It's one of my favorites. It's been hanging in my bedroom for months and months and months. I have a hard time selling paintings. So this is a really big deal for me, which is one of the reasons I started with art storefronts, because I could sell prints. And that way I could keep the original. But I'm running out of room. I don't have, that much wall space. And it gets kind of crazy. I sometimes my kids will come in, they go, Mom, get, all these pictures, so I know I have to clear out a little bit. So that's kind of the reason for this sale, and just to, expand out a little bit and reach out and touch people, maybe with my paintings, the way that they touch me and how I feel about things. So this next piece, I have to warn you, it's a political piece. And I'm just so frightened of the state that our country is in. And so, I put my feelings into the painting. And this is actually a multimedia piece. Let's see if we can get this in. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it. This is called Wake Up America. And the basis for this is America the Beautiful. We have the waves of grain, the purple mountains majesty, the ocean, and the Statue of Liberty. Now, I told you that I dreamed the Statue of Liberty. And I got up the next morning and I opened up my paper and there was the Statue of Liberty. So I knew I had to incorporate that somehow into an art piece. And so this piece represents the embattled liberty. We have our American sky up there with the stars falling, and these are if you know your history, you know that the stars on the flag are for the states. And that's why we have 50 stars, because we have 50 states. So I've got some of the stars that are falling, and they're the ones that are cracked and breaking. And down here, the one that's destroyed is California, because I feel like we have lost everything that California was. And then I've got little bits of, words and phrases of, trying to get people to pay attention to what's happening to our wonderful country. And so this is my political statement. And I hope that somebody, is willing to take it into their home. It's a little bit frightening what's happening to us, at least to me. The older generation, a lot of the younger generation doesn't really care. So it's. I mean, I couldn't even get my kids to vote this last election, so it really bothers me. So anyway, I put my feelings into the painting, and we have "Wake Up America." So I don't usually do a lot of political stuff. I will do patriotic stuff, though. And that's what this one is about. This is Glory. And the words are taken from the Battle Hymn of Republic. Mine eyes have seen the glory. And again, it's a little bit political, because the glory of America is amazing. The whole world wants to be Americans. So this is our wonderful bald eagle, and some of our flag and bunting, and just like mine eyes have seen the glory. This is a wonderful country, and we need to keep it that way. So this again is a 16 by 20. All my paintings are acrylic. I've kind of stopped using oil paints because it's just not convenient. And now that I've found heavy body acrylics, I probably will never go back to oil painting. So we're getting to the end here. And this painting is called Splish Flash. So this is another one that you could turn any which way you wanted. It's just using my favorite colors of blues and greens, with a little bit of yellow. And it's just a lighthearted, free expression of color. And it just reminds me of water. So that's why I named it Splish Splash. Thinking about that old 50s song, Splish Splash, I got out of the bath. It's just a fun piece to me. And then my last piece is, a girlfriend was talking about pink pumpkins. She said, you never see pink pumpkins. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. You don't. You see blue ones, you see beige ones, brown ones, black ones, orange ones. So we were talking, and then I hung up the conversation, and I got out my palette knife, and I was playing around with my heavy body acrylics, which were brand new at the time. And I painted the pink pumpkin. Now this is a small picture. I think it's 9. I don't know. I forget. I'd have to measure it. It's about 8 by 10.
8 by 10, yeah, it is.
So this is done completely with a palette knife, except for the little curlicue on the pumpkin, which I did with a brush. And it's a raised texture, which I think you can see. So it's an interesting painting just to look at because of the texture. And I think it's just interesting because it's pink.
I've never seen a pink pumpkin before, so for sure it is interesting.
No, I know. It's just a little weird pumpkin, but I like it.
I'll also call it Weird Pumpkin. That's a good name.
But I think it's kind of fun. So anyway, that's the end of my pictures, but I'm really hoping that you guys will at least go and visit my website. I have lots of things there, and You can always get a print of something, especially if you like something I've posted on Instagram and I don't have it for sale. I probably will have it as a print because, like I said, I have trouble selling stuff. It's just like pulling teeth for me. And so I just finished a couple of pictures with autumn leaves, and one of my girlfriends called me up right away and she said, I want that one. I go, I can't. It's hanging on the wall, and I did a companion piece for it last night, and it's just they're going to be there for a while, probably at least a year, and then maybe I would think about selling it. I don't know. I have a hard time selling, so this is a big deal for me. And if you do get a painting from me, consider it a real gift because I have a hard time letting go. It's just me. What can I say?
Yep. We have Divinity Chan on Instagram saying you should call the pink pumpkin, you should call it bubblegum pumpkin. And that's hilarious.
That's a good name. I didn't think of that.
Amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's a really good name. Thank you, Divinity.
And I think it's also a good time to remind people for how long we're going to be extending the sale.
Yeah, now the sale goes till October the 6th. That's my husband's birthday. So I figured we would just extend my birthday sale, a little bit longer. We both turned 70 this year, so we have been I've been celebrating all month with all kinds of stuff. And I figure I'll just keep the sale going until his birthday, and then I'll shut it down. So things will be available. Also, you can sign up for my email list. It's on the website. So I hope you'll stop in and take a look at all the different stuff I have. I have, housewares. You could make Mahjong pillows. I just have a lot of different things that you can do. You could have a mug. Oh, I didn't get my mug out. I have a mug that says currently avoiding housework. It's my very favorite mug. So I have things with funny sayings, and you can get tote bags, and there's all kinds of stuff on the website. T-shirts. I mean, I like to create, so I'm always looking to make something out of something else. Like last week, I went to the thrift store and found this horrible witch, and she lights up and has a really evil eyes and horrible cackle, and so I remade her face. I made her into kind of a nice looking older lady. And she's sitting in my living room now with a new dress and a very decorative hat with roses and black netting. And I painted her skin color, not the horrible yellow she was. And she's sitting with a crystal ball. So she's now become my fortune teller. But it's just like, I go out and I see things. I pick up trash. I'm crazy. I drive my husband insane. Oh, hi, Christy. I see you there. It's just, I just love creating. So it's something I can't not do it, and, I collect things out of birthday parties, and I save things, and I make other stuff with it. And I just have a really good time doing it. So that's just what I do.
We had Barbara Hunt saying she may need the pink pumpkin for her living room for next month.
Okay, good. Yep. That would be great. I don't know if you can see my mermaid skeleton in the back here.
I'll have to remove the logo. I think I could do that. Yeah, now they can see it.
Yeah, she's I did put shells on her boobies. So she has her shells. She kept her shells, but the rest of her is skeleton. And of course, knowing Ariel and Little Mermaid, I found a red wig, which the little girls in the family just go, no, you killed Ariel. And I go, no, I didn't. She's alive and well on my wall. So anyway, I have a mermaid skeleton. I have Halloween all over the house. It's just, it's just what I do. I decorate for all the holidays. So help me out, guys. Buy some paintings, get them out of my house because I have too many. And I'll try to go through and find some more that I can let go of.
Awesome.
So, but I think
Great,
that's it.
great show. I loved it. Many people interacting. Very good show.
All right. I appreciate everybody dropping in and the comments and the questions. Those were great. And I want everybody to say thank you to Juan for running my backup and my technical stuff.
My pleasure, Lynn. My pleasure.
Couldn't have done it without you.
That's what I'm here for. I love to do this as well. Thank you for that. All right, I think we're ready to stop the show. Um, so I'll do that here on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, you have to do it the same for Instagram, right?
Yes, I have to get up and go turn off the camera.
Remember, it's the upper right-hand side corner, the little X. So
Mhm.
just make sure to do that. Yep.
Okay. All right. And I will say good night to everybody. All right. Bye.